Guys, it is an incredible offseason so far. We've been having a lot of stuff going on in the National Football League this offseason. It is quite crazy if you ask me about what's going on during the offseason. And we have a lot of stuff happening. And as we approach July, it's July 20th in the year of our Lord 2024. We have a lot going on, especially with the off-season issues and the woes going on with the Kansas City Chiefs, contract situations going on up in Miami, Green Bay, San Francisco, Dallas, and Cincinnati, as well as everything, going up kind of up in smoke with the Dallas Cowboys. But we're going to talk about that here in just a little bit. It is a tremendous offseason. We are so close to NFL training camp, and we are ready to rock and roll with the rest of the summer, rest of the offseason, and the obviously getting ready for preseason football here is coming soon on Pigskin Frenzy. Welcome to Pigskin Frenzy on this wonderful Thursday afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Joel Norris. Whether you're watching on YouTube, listening on Spotify, listening on Podbean, a big thank you for taking some time out of your Thursday to just sit back, watch, and listen to some NFL coverage presented by me. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like each episode, leave comments down below. Spotify, Podbean, and Apple, all you have to do is just share around with others and follow on there as well. X, Instagram, Facebook, just type in Pigskin Frenzy. Follow, like the pages there. You're going to get episode updates. You're going to get news and highlights from across college and NFL football. You're going to get trivia questions on Instagram stories. Go and answer today's NFL question, as well as all things up to date for Pigskin Frenzy. Guys, the new website, www.pigskinfrenzy.weebly.com. There's a home and about me page. Go and read more about me as your podcast host. There's a contact page down below. Contact me. Send your question in through email. I'll hopefully get to it on the show. Guys, there's also a platforms page that tells you about all the platforms I just mentioned just a minute ago. Choose and pick your platform and just choose and pick your platform. There's a store that is coming soon. We'll have more announcements about that later on in the near future. Guys, also our affiliations page with the Beard Club, and that's our proud partner of Pigskin Frenzy. If you need a nice shave, if you want a good-looking shave, male counterparts, or significant other to your male counterpart or male listening to this show, guys, you're not going to want to miss what I have to say. Indulge me for a minute and listen to Pigskin Frenzy right here, because we have a lot to discuss when it comes to the Beard Club and what's going on with the Beard Club. So, guys, Pigskin Frenzy listeners, you're not going to want to miss this. 15% off. Our Father's Day sale just ended at the Beard Club, so 15% off right now on beard grooming kits. There's also, with the beard grooming kit, beard oil, beard and face wash, boar bristle brush, and beard balm come with that. Also, a grooming kit with a razor as well. All comes with the beard grooming kit. You can also get 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner. Get a loofah. You can get also body wash there at the Beard Club. Just go to my website, www.pigskinfrenzy.weebly.com. There you will find all things Beard Club as well. If you click on the affiliations page and click on the Beard Club logo, that will take you to the Beard Club site. Also, my link tree, you can go to my Instagram bio, my X bio, my Facebook bio, or the description of this YouTube video. You can click on the link tree. There, it will take you to all my links, including the Beard Club site link. You can click on that, and it will take you to the site. The Beard Club, proud partner of Pigskin Frenzy. Thank you for all that you guys do with us for the podcast. It is going to help grooming needs and facial hair needs be met. NFL Day today, almost say college football because I was so hung up on the last episode. Go and check out episode 133 of Pigskin Frenzy. I talked about the Big 12 conference standing projection. So go and listen to that one. But NFL Day today, we're getting ready to rock and roll here on the podcast and on the show, and we're talking about mainly a lot what's going on in the league. There's no really off-season reports or mandatory workout reports because mandatory minicamp is about wrapped up and concluded. We're about to have ourselves a little bit of a break here, but in 3 weeks, July 13th, the Baltimore Ravens kick us off with training camp. NFL training camps begin July 13th, with the latest beginning on July 20th. 3 weeks away from NFL training camp to get started with our preseason festivities. 2 months of preseason festivities, getting ready to rock and roll with training camp and ready to go to work for NFL. We are so close to the football season. It's not even funny, especially in college. In college and NFL, everything's going to get is going to be here around the corner, and it's going to be here before we know it. So just strap in, enjoy the rest of the summer, and let's get ready to watch some football here shortly in the matter of a month and a half, maybe even 2 months. August 1st. August 1st is when the Hall of Fame game is for NFL. So first preseason game is August 1st. We have the month of July before football comes back, August 1st, all the way until the end of August when college and NFL start coming back into the fold. So we are ready to rock and roll and enjoy this rest of this all-season festivities. And with the all-season festivities comes a lot of off-the-field issues, comes a lot of contract situations, comes a lot of stories during the offseason, and we're going to get down to all that here in just a little bit. So keep on plugging into Pigskin Frenzy. Keep on subscribing to all platforms. Keep on keeping on with Pigskin Frenzy. We're going to have an announcement shortly soon. And by soon, I don't mean like right away. I mean in about a month, maybe a month and a half, maybe at the close to the end of July, and it's a college football announcement, and it involves maybe a little bit of a prize that all the listeners can get a hold of. So we're going to talk about that. You're not going to want to miss what I have to say on that and what I got to say on everything. So let's kick it off with what we're going to talk about with off-season issues and off-the-field woes. And let's talk about the Kansas City Chiefs a little bit. And off-the-field issues come with a lot of things. And here's the deal. I don't like really talking about this stuff. I mean, I'm just going to be real. I don't really like talking about this stuff on this show that much. I really like keeping it just between me and you and between everything going on the field. But this involves on the field, off the field, but bleeds onto the field. And remember when I told you, and I've told everybody, your actions, whatever you do, besides personal beliefs, your actions, arrest, what you say about somebody on a team or whatever, it bleeds into on the field. It really bleeds in onto the field. And I think it can start doing that up in Kansas City in the defending Super Bowl champions' backyard. So Chiefs defensive lineman Isaiah Buggs, he was arrested back in May for second-degree animal cruelty, and this past weekend he made bond on that. He's out. He's been working with mandatory minicamp. He's been reporting to the team, working out, doing fine. And this past weekend or last week, he was arrested again on domestic violence charges. So that's 2 arrests within the span of 1 to 2 months, May and June, for Isaiah Buggs. He, as far as I know, I have no other update on that right now, and I'll get more updates if anything else comes out of it. But Isaiah Buggs most likely will report to the team in July for training camp. For another arrest has been made for him, and it's clear like a lot of the offseason issues have been happening in Kansas City. Rashee Rice situation, the Isaiah Buggs, we're not going to count Harrison Buckner. That's a personal thing. But and these are all personal issues too, but at the same time, this bleeds in onto the field. This, to me, bleeds in more onto the field than what Harrison Buckner said. I think, I think there needs to be a point where, as an organization, as a team, we start talking to these players, start talking to Rashee Rice, start talking to Isaiah Buggs and say, hey, this affects how we operate as an organization. This affects how we operate as a football team. It bleeds it onto the field. It kind of talks about our brand as a football team, and we don't want our organization and our reputation as the defending Super Bowl champions to be a little bit tarnished. And I'm not calling out anybody. I'm not saying anything, and this is not no judgment. Everybody makes mistakes in this life and in this world. Everybody makes mistakes. I've made mistakes. Listeners who are listening to this podcast make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, and still make mistakes. There's, everybody's going to make a mistake every now and then, but when you keep making those mistakes, it keeps bleeding in onto the football field, and it kind of tarnishes the organization and kind of the rep of the organization right now. So I think that's what's happening right now. I think that's what needs to be addressed. It needs to be, wipe the slate clean almost with everything when it comes to the Chiefs organization. That's my thoughts on everything. Take it as you will. I just think I don't really like talking about this stuff too much, but I think right now that it needs to be addressed. I think there needs to be some talking, maybe even a slight punishment, a suspension or a fine, something to get him to say, hey, man, we don't need to do this. We need to be better for this brand and be better for the Chiefs kingdom, Chiefs football, and be better than what we're doing off the field, because it affects us as an organization and it affects us as a team because they look upon us. And I think that is these are some of the things that need to be said, not just to the Chiefs, but around the NFL as well. So those are my thoughts on the Chiefs offseason woes. I hope Isaiah Buggs, everything gets good with him. Everything's fine. And we just start getting back to playing some ball and so in a more positive light, and the brands of football and the organizations and the teams around the league are looked at in a more upbringing and positive light rather than, negativity and off-season issues and off-the-field issues bleeding on to the football field. So that's the Kansas City Chiefs, and that's the latest update on Isaiah Buggs. If I have any more updates, I will get to you guys. I will post it on X. I will talk about it on the podcast as well on all platforms. So let's talk about the latest contract situations. Let's talk about, and then we'll conclude today's episode with the Dallas Cowboys, right? So let's talk about that, and let's talk about priorities at the end of this episode. Let's go with Miami first in South Beach. The Dolphins and quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. Tua's entering his final year of his deal, and a lot of stuff's going on there. Like, as in, he's about to get a new deal, and both sides are happy with where they're at. It's been reported by The Athletic. It's been reported by ESPN. It's been reported by, I'm pretty sure a lot of other news outlets and sporting outlets as well. But it's been reported by a lot that Tua Tagovailoa will get a new deal and a longer-term deal and a good contract. The Dolphins are trying to figure out a way that it can meet their needs, and the Tua Tagovailoa is trying to figure out a way they can meet their needs, but both of them have respect for each other. Both of them like working with each other. They both want Tua to stay, and Tua wants to stay in Miami. I'm not really too worried about this deal. If anybody's worried about Tua getting signed, don't worry about that. I think they're going to make a deal happen, and it's supposed to happen, and he is most likely going to re-sign with the Dolphins for a long-term contract, a long-term deal by the end of the summer or by preseason at least. So they're working on a deal right now. They are talking, and they're going to have, a deal that meets both their needs. So nothing to worry about. Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa, most likely Tua will stay as the Dolphins quarterback for the foreseeable future. If you're worried about it, don't really worry about it. I'm hearing some good things coming out of that deal. So good news for both sides, and that's the latest update on Tua Tagovailoa and the Dolphins trying to work out a good long-term deal by the end of the summer. Let's talk about one deal here, and that is the Green Bay Packers. And we're going to talk about where we are at right now with quarterback Jordan Love. Jordan Love and the Packers are talking about an extension. Now, are they near, kind of like how Tua, Tua and that side of the woods are? No, they're not. They're not in that side of the area yet, but they will be. We're also going to talk about another deal here in a little bit that was official, and I just forgot to mention it on the top of my head, but we're going to get to that here in a little bit. But when we're talking about deals, Jordan Love, Packers, good quarterback, solid quarterback, led them to the playoffs his first full season. Very impressive. Very impressive on all ends. Close loss with the Niners. If they would have beaten the Niners, they would have gone to the NFC Championship game against divisional rival and division champion of the NFC North, the Detroit Lions. Huge blow at the end, but at the same time, big time play and big time performance for Jordan Love for leading him to the playoffs in his first full season as a starting quarterback. They're trying to find him a good deal. He's entering his final year of his contract, And what we're going to figure out is how's the deal going to meet the needs of Jordan Love and the Packers. That's where they're at right now. Do I expect a Supermax contract? Probably not yet. I think there's going to be something big that's going to happen even more for Jordan Love to get that Supermax contract. They got to be consistently in it, and they got to be consistently close to a title or maybe even another Super Bowl title in general to give him an elite Supermax contract. I think right now a good deal's in the works, but I don't know about that Supermax contract quite yet. We're going to have to do a little bit more to get to that point. But Jordan Love and the Packers are talking right now, but nothing's been made official as of now. That's the latest contract update for Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. Let's go to Jacksonville, and this is the one I was talking about. It was made in an official last week. Jacksonville has re-signed quarterback Trevor Lawrence to a 5-year new deal, $275 million with $200 million guaranteed over the next 5 years. A big extension, a big contract extension for quarterback Trevor Lawrence. He is tied with Joe Burrow as the highest paid quarterback annually. Guys, that's a huge contract, huge for Trevor. He led them to the playoffs against the Kansas City Chiefs in a divisional loss last season, not this past season, but the 2022 season. Big time contract for Trevor Lawrence. A lot of people are not going to agree with that deal. I am on that train. I don't think that contract should be worth that much. I think Trevor Lawrence is a solid quarterback and has the tangibles to be an elite quarterback in this league. But I think right now, a good deal needs to be in place, but not that kind of deal. I think that kind of deal is just a little bit too much for the Jacksonville Jaguars at this point, and for Trevor Lawrence at this point. He's done well, but I don't think it's to the point where he needs a $275 million contract. That's just my honest thoughts. I like Trevor. I do like Trevor Lawrence. I like the Jaguars. I just don't agree with the amount of money that he is being given at this time. But that's just my thoughts. I would like to see more from him on the field. I would like to see more from him down the stretch overall. So I think that's where my issue is right now when it comes to the money part of everything. So Jacksonville Jaguars re-signed Trevor Lawrence to a $275 million 5-year extension, $200 million guaranteed. Let's talk about that's re-signed. Let's talk about two other things, and we will bleed into what we're going to be talking about to end the episode. Let's go into Cincinnati, and let's talk about what's happening in Cincinnati. Let's talk about the latest on T. Higgins. The latest on T. Higgins is he has re-signed his He has signed his franchise tag. The 1-year franchise tag has been signed by T. Higgins. He will report to the Bengals, and he will report to the Bengals in a few weeks to training camp for the start of the 2024 preseason and start of the 2024 season in general. He will play for the Bengals in the 2024 season, most likely. However, according to NFL insider Ian Rappert, Rap Sheet himself, that a long-term deal, is still unlikely. So, and as I've tweeted out and I've posted plenty of times, I did not have a good feeling about it. I did not have a good feeling about T. Higgins being there long term. I think the 2024 season will be his final year as a Cincinnati Bengal before he becomes a free agent next season and explores free agency and signs elsewhere. I think Cincinnati this is going to be his last season with the Cincinnati Bengals, or they may shock us all and restart everything, and everything can mend, and he could get a long-term deal between now and next March. But right now, it's looking like it's going to be his last season as a Cincinnati Bengal in 2024. So that's the latest contract and the latest update on T. Higgins. I told you I was going to get to that. Those are the latest things that I got, but I got a feeling that this could be T. Higgins' final year as a Cincinnati Bengal after signing that 1-year franchise tag to play for the 2024 season. So he is going to be a Bengal for probably possibly his last season in 2024. So that's T. Higgins. That's the latest update on him. Let's go out to San Francisco really, really fast before we conclude it with the Dallas Cowboys. Let's talk about San Francisco really quick, and this is going to be pretty brief, and I'm keeping it pretty brief with this one. There's no update on wide receiver Brandon Ayuk. There's no talks on the table right now, no extension talks going on right now. That one's kind of a 50-50 or a hit or miss, as you say. I am kind of concerned about that one. If you want to be completely honest, I'm concerned really about what's going on with Brandon Ayuk and the San Francisco 49ers. I just think right now at this time when we see everything with Brandon Ayuk that is he's either going to be A, released, B, traded, or C, they're going to sign into a long-term deal. It's a hit or miss. You just don't know what's going to happen. He's going to play this season for the Niners. He is approaching his final year of his deal with the Niners. So what's right now concerning to me is the Niners are prepared to do life without Samuel, Ayuk, or even both. And I think that's the concerning words that I'm hearing out of the camp of the 49ers. And I've been thinking about that and pondering that in my head. So it's like, I just don't know what's going to happen here. But to keep it brief, there's no update right now and no extension talks on the table right now for Brandon Ayuk. I'm kind of concerned about it a little bit. I'll keep everybody updated on everything with San Francisco 49ers, Brandon Ayuk. But if I'm a 49ers fan, that's a little iffy right there, a little iffy. So that's the latest on that. Let's conclude it one more with the contract situations updates with Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb. And this bleeds into what I'm going to talk about at the very end of this podcast episode. There's no update. I mean, really, there's no update on CeeDee Lamb. The latest is that they're going to try to work out an extension, but he's not even the top priority at this time right now. That's the latest on the contract situations for all teams, and especially Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb. And staying on that topic, let's move over to the Dallas Cowboys, as we got to discuss what's going on right there in Dallas. The priority is not CeeDee Lamb and the Dallas and Cowboys wide receiver at first. The priority is Dak Prescott getting another extension. Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott getting another extension. Now, my deal is this. I like Dak Prescott. I like Dak Prescott a lot. I think he's a solid quarterback, and he's proven, especially last season, this past season, I thought he was in the MVP hunt mid-season. He improved on a lot of areas and looked more like a veteran quarterback as the games got on during the season. I think that Dak needs an extension, but not now. I think Dak already got his extension a couple of years ago, and the priority shouldn't be giving Dak another extension. The priority should be signing CeeDee Lamb to another contract because he's entering the final year of his contract. CeeDee Lamb made a bunch of good plays. If it wasn't for CeeDee Lamb, they wouldn't have been in a lot of games last season. I think CeeDee Lamb was a playmaker. He was a solid playmaker, and he made a lot of plays that won them games last season. He was a solid player for this offense, and he is one of the highlights of this offense and key pieces of this offense. And I think that CeeDee Lamb needs to get a new and probably a bigger deal than what he's got right now. Micah Parsons on the defensive side of things should be next right after that, because Parsons makes that defense go. He's the heart of that defense. He's what makes that defensive line tick. And when he's a problem for any offensive lineman and any quarterback that's got to face him on Sundays, Thursdays, or Mondays. So to me, those are the top two priorities, and then you sign Dak Prescott. The priorities are out of whack right now, and I think that is my concern with the Dallas Cowboys. My concern of how I don't trust really the Cowboys right now is because of a lot of the priorities are out of whack. I think that when they said they were going to go all in, right? They said they were going to go all in, an excellent draft class and an excellent free agency class. They did not really sign anybody during free agency. They missed a lot of the needs and their crucial needs in the NFL draft. They got some players, especially on the O-line, but not at the other positions that they really needed. They needed a running back. They re-signed Ezekiel Elliott, and they got Deuce Vaughn right now. They need another running back, but they did not get another running back. They just brought Zeke back, and there's nothing wrong with that. They re-signed Ezekiel Elliott, but they needed probably a premier, bigger time back, like a Jonathan Brooks out of Texas, like a Blake Corum out of Michigan, and they did not land him. They didn't draft him at all. And I think a lot of going all in right now is trying to re-sign Dak to another deal. They need more than just that. You know what I mean? They need more than just that. It's kind of hard to trust the Dallas Cowboys at this point in time because they're not making the necessary moves and changes to go all in. A lot of their downfall happened late last season and into the playoffs when they played the Packers at home in the first round, and they lost big time. And I think a lot of the changes that were made were not made. We're going to go all in. We're going to make changes, and they never did. Jerry Jones has promised us an all-in season. Right now, it's not looking like an all-in season. It's looking like a season where it could be potentially the same thing that happened last year, and it's worrisome. To me, it's worrisome. I'm just calling it how it is. I'm just telling the truth on what's going on with the Dallas Cowboys here. I think that when I look at everything and I look at everything going on with the Dallas Cowboys, I think they're a solid team. I just think that the priorities are out of whack. Number one, I think they need to re-sign CeeDee Lamb to a good deal and talk to him right now. That's number one. Number two, I think that Micah Parsons should be next on that list because his contract will eventually end sooner and a lot more sooner than Dak Prescott's. Number three, then you start focusing more on Prescott when the time comes because he's still going to be with the Cowboys and starting regardless if you don't do an extension. An extension should not happen, and don't prioritize it at this moment. To me, CeeDee Lamb is like Saquon. And I've told Giants fans this a year ago. I said it when he was not getting the deal that he deserved, and they were offering him a franchise tag. I said, you do not need to let him walk because he will walk. He will walk in free agency this coming up season, the next offseason, which was this offseason. And what happened? He walked. And not only did he walk away from the Giants, he walked to their divisional rival in the Philadelphia Eagles. And that's nothing against, I'm not saying anything against him, but if anybody is calling, oh, he's a traitor, he's this, he's that, he's not a traitor. He's doing his business. He's doing his business, and he is it's a business, and he's going to work for another place with the right deal in place. He got a huge deal with the Eagles. He's getting the money that is owed to him, and he's earned. And the Giants did not offer him that. They didn't even offer him another contract. They let him go. So I don't think the Cowboys should make that same mistake. I think the Cowboys need to try to keep CeeDee Lamb as long as they can, and as long as he will like to play for the Cowboys, because let's face it, he is one of the biggest reasons why they were in a lot of games last season, and some of the yards that he was racking up and some of the plays that he was making were unbelievable. He turned a lot of nothing into something, and I think CeeDee Lamb is a guy that you need to prioritize number one right now to re-sign. If you want to get your priorities right, I think that's one that you got to make it right. The all-in season, and it's just really hard to trust right now what's going on with the Cowboys. I think the priorities need to be better, and they need to be not out of whack. I wouldn't say they just need to be a lot better to make it a better all-in season, if that makes sense. I just don't trust them right now. I don't trust the all-in season. I don't trust what's going on in Dallas right now, only because they're not making the necessary changes to improve and to become that, okay, it's all or nothing now. You know what I mean? So they're not making those changes, and there's nothing going on with Dallas right now to convince me that they're going all out this season. So that's just my thoughts on everything. Let me know what you guys think about everything. We're out of time here on Pigskin Frenzy. Guys, a big thank you for taking some time out of your Thursday to just sit back, watch, and listen to some NFL coverage presented by me. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like each episode, leave comments down below. Spotify, Podbean, and Apple, all you have to do is just share around with others and follow on there as well. X, Instagram, and Facebook, just type in Pigskin Frenzy. Follow, like the pages there. You're going to get episode updates. You're going to get news and highlights from across college and NFL football. You're going to get trivia questions on Instagram stories. Go and answer today's NFL question, as well as all things up to date for Pigskin Frenzy. Guys, the website, www.pigskinfrenzy.weebly.com. Check out all things up to date for Pigskin Frenzy there. Our partnership from the Beard Club, go and to click on the affiliations page on the website to go to the Beard Club site, or go to my link tree on my X bio, Facebook bio, Instagram bio, or the description down below in this YouTube video to check out some Beard Club products on my link tree. Guys, a big thank you again for taking some time out of your Thursday. It's a beautiful Thursday. Go and enjoy it. We will be back Tuesday for another edition of Pigskin Frenzy, a college football edition of Pigskin Frenzy, our latest round of 2024 conference standing projections in college football with the Big Ten this week. 18 teams, 2 teams playing in the Big Ten title game, 1 champion. 2024 conference standing projections with the Big Ten coming up on Tuesday. Next week will be NFL as well. Enjoy this weekend. I'm Joel Norris signing off. We will see you Tuesday for a college football edition of Pigskin Frenzy. For everybody out there, please and always stay the course.